A shitty wizard appears while you're going about your day. He asks you some questions and won't let you run away. Would you rather have a finger growing out of your cheek or have no skin on the bottom of your feet? Would you rather have laser vision or turn invisible? Now make a decision. Shitty wizard flying through the air. Shitty wizard magic everywhere. Shitty wizard you just can't compare. Shitty wizard learning to care.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of Streamy Dreams with the only shitty wizard who fucking showed up today. Me, Caitlin. And thank God I'm joined by two wonderful friends introducing award-winning director, Brett Jubinville.
I think bread is what I'm
Brett Jubinville. And Super Science Friends writer, Kevin
Award-winning writer.
Award-winning writer of Super Science Friends, Kevin. Thank you for joining us here on Streamy Dreams.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
So, this is the first time Kevin's ever been on Streamy Dreams or Shitty Wizard, so we're just going to go over the basics. We ask and answer would you rather questions. I've got the chat open here on my phone, and they will submit questions for us to answer, like probably halfway through the show. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, well, Brett, I've heard that you have a would you rather question, so lay it on us.
I do. It requires some multimedia here.
Uh-oh.
So, some backstory is I woke up in the middle of the night last night and frantically texted myself this would you rather. If anyone ever says, like, it came to them in a dream, it's probably a bad idea. So that's my preface here. So would you rather hear the Barber of Seville for all music ever? So if you're watching a show and they have score in the background, it's just Barber of Seville. Mm-hmm. Which if you've seen Bugs Bunny, that's probably where you know it from. That's where I know it from. Which is it's the one where he's making the salad on Elmer Fudd's. Okay, so that's forever. Or once per day, you in your head hear, and this is randomly, and at any point in the day, it could strike, you hear the song, Call Me Maybe, and you have to dance to it at that time. So for people who don't know Call Me Maybe, because I certainly didn't, so I had to look it up when I woke up this morning.
Not know that song?
Because I don't listen to girl pop songs from...
The question, how did this come to you in a dream? You don't know.
Yeah.
I've probably heard it at some point.
Holt.
So this is the... Let me play here.
I love funny backstory. For some reason, because I get very panicked when I'm going up roller coasters, like I have a fear of height, but my fear of height is like going up the roller coaster. Once I'm at the top, I'm cool. Yeah. But for some reason, one summer when we went to Wonderland, that song would pop into my head as I went up, and it really calmed me down. Oh. So I'd just be bopping along to that in my head as like the clickety clack up the roller coaster is happening.
Ultimate doom.
Maybe the like clickety clack of the roller coaster going up was the same like BPM.
Like yeah.
It is a very like danceable song.
Yeah.
Like,
So I feel like that it would give you like a very happy memory once a day. Like, oh yeah, this is my power song.
Let me repeat it without all the context. So, would you rather have Barber of Seville, which is not a bad song, repeated or played, kind of replacing any music that you hear ever, or once a day you have to dance, no matter where you are, to Call Me Maybe, and I don't think people can hear it. Only you can hear it, and it's random and it's forced.
Oh,
and is it the whole song?
It's the whole song.
Oh.
Ooh.
And that song is, because I have it here, it's 3 minutes long.
But you are giving up all film scores.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was once a day. Okay, I'll let you guys discuss.
Do you have to like get up and dance, or can you just like kind of tap your foot?
No,
How intricate does the dance have to
I
be?
think you have to dance like you're at a wedding dancing.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Once a day, and it's like at any time during the day.
It could be the middle of the night, and you have to get up out of bed. It could be in the middle of a meeting. It could be you're in line at the post office.
I mean, you could just like go to the bathroom. Just be like,
No. It hits.
You
It's
can
like a
dance
seizure.
your way to the bathroom.
Yeah, you can probably dance your way out the room.
yeah.
People
yeah.
think that you have every time you have to go to the bathroom is your like is your little jingle to remind yourself.
Yeah. But no other music
Except Barbara of Seville.
except Barbara of Seville.
You could pretend that you have to take a call, and that would be the right song. You'd be like, "Oh, I gotta take a call."
Like, it just sounds really inconvenient, but also there are a lot of things in my day that are inconvenient that I just do anyway.
And I feel like I listen to definitely enough shows and enough music that like you'd be hearing Barbara Seville like 30 times a day. Like it's not
Yeah.
It is a song that would slowly drive you mad.
because you're also saying like even if I listen to the radio, all the commercials would be like their background music would be replaced too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
I guess you could equate "Call Me Maybe" with like going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has to do it every day. It strikes randomly, seemingly, from at any time.
I'd be more intrigued by the Barbara Seville one if it was all music was adapted from Barbara Seville. So it'd be like every song on the radio is a different remix of it, or
Yeah.
like a different genre
Yes, it's
style.
like, Call me
replay.
maybe. Call me maybe.
Yeah.
Did you just wake up with that song in your head or something?
I don't know. I have no. I've heard the song, so I knew it, but I didn't know what it was. And I was like, "Call me maybe." So I was like, okay, it's obviously this song. And then I texted it to me. And then I woke up and I forgot about it, but I had also like sent myself a drawing, like rather than using a scanner, I sent myself a sketch that I did last night.
Right.
I took a photo of, and so then I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I guess it's my would you rather for the day.
Yeah, I'm dancing.
Dancing,
I'm dancing
dancing to "Call Me Maybe"
every day.
in 2038.
So
I'm not gonna let it die.
I think also I would put it on my phone, and when it hits, I would like play it so that other people could know what I'm dancing to.
Right.
Because I do think it'd be much more awkward to just be dancing to nothing around.
Yeah.
What would you think if once a day I just started dancing?
I think this relationship would be over.
Also, it's a random time of day, so you have like only a 30% chance of it happening during the workday,
That's true, yeah.
and like a very small percent chance it happens during your commute.
What if you're in the middle of a movie theater? or
I know,
something?
yeah. that's
I'm
gonna
most
suck.
worried about like I'm on the toilet and like suddenly you gotta get up and dance.
I think like if you're at a fancy event or something, or if you're going to like the movies, let's say, you're looking at the clock and you're going like, shit, okay, it's 9:00. It hasn't happened yet. There's like no way I'm making it through this movie without having to get up. So you just
Yeah.
like cancel your plans right there.
Yeah. Rather than embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
also like just a terrible dancer, so it's like doubly embarrassing.
So you guys are taking. See, I don't listen to music that much outside of like in shows and movies and stuff. But I think I could go without. I think
it would very much affect your job. How could you pick your scores for the show?
Just let somebody else do it.
I'll just do that to somebody else. Although I do spend like the majority of my day like in my office, so I'm pretty safe.
It'd be pretty
Yeah.
funny, like, you don't even, because if it's your whole life has been like that, you wouldn't even have the concept that music's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, what takes these composers so long? Every time I hear it, so it's the same song.
Yeah, probably Call Me Maybe. It's less inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's probably like if someone had like Tourette's or epilepsy or something. It's about as inconvenient as that.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Not to diminish those afflictions, but they're sporadic.
What if you were like driving though? Ooh, would you have time to pull over?
I feel like you make a special loophole in the wish that you can do the drivey dance, like.
Like
if you're driving, you got one hand on the wheel.
Maybe it's this. Maybe if you're seated at the time, you also sing it at the top of your lungs.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that would make the bathroom extra embarrassing.
When I said go to the bathroom, I meant just like go into a bathroom stall to like do your dance,
No,
not
but
like actually
I
sit down.
said-
Yeah, to Kevin's
Yeah,
point,
right.
what if you're already sitting down? What if you're mid drop and then it hits and you just start belting out "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, I could deal with that.
I couldn't. There are enough anxieties around public washrooms as it is.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna dance.
Yeah.
What about
I'm
you,
dancing.
Kev? You dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck the Barber of Seville. Get out of here.
Maybe if it had been something else instead of Barbara.
Well, like anything that's gonna replace any music
Yeah,
that you
all
listen
music.
to, all music, is gonna be a bad choice.
Possibly. I bet I could think of something. Screams of children or something like that.
Just the voices in your head tell you to.
Yeah, or you can make it like one note in every song you hear is off, and you can like pick it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be like a good slow burn, because then you can hear every song perfectly, but then like it always slightly irks you.
All right, Kev, did you have a would you rather for us?
I've been kind of thinking of one. I figured I'd make it a little sciencier.
Sure.
I was thinking if you had to become like a cyborg, since it's going to happen eventually to all of us, my first thought was you would have your eyes replaced with laser pointers so that everyone can see where you're looking all the time.
Oh, Lord.
Which includes little fleeting glances like across the room.
Yeah, those times when you like don't even notice that you're like looking at something.
Mhm. And I was trying to think of another good like body augment one. So yeah, it could either be like there's like a headboard display that maybe says like whatever your mood is or like how you're feeling at the time, so
What
people
you're
always know.
actually thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, my buddy and I were trying to figure out like how obvious it was when dudes like look at girls' boobs.
Okay.
And so, we were like, we thought we were pretty sly because we were doing like the, you start down and you cross over, that kind of thing, and like they were like, no, it's so quick that you don't realize. And then finally we said, okay, well, let's sit down across from each other. And I said, I'll look at you, and I'll glance down, and so I did it. I went like, and then he just went. His face just went blank. He was just like, "Oh no!" It's like it's so obvious. It's like, oh shit! It completely changed our everything, our whole world.
Sounds like it should be like a health class. Like
Totally
lesson
a
of the
health
day,
class
like
lesson.
okay, we're all just gonna sit in a circle, and then anyone who feels that they're being stared at inappropriately, just raise your hand.
So laser pointers would make that even worse.
Yeah.
I was even imagining like you couldn't avoid if you're walking down the street and like walk past a crazy person that you like are staring at them.
Right.
They would know like
Yeah.
instantly.
Or like, yeah, even when you're like walking down the street and you kind of look at somebody and then you look away, but then you're like, no, I looked away too quickly, so you look back and then they're looking at you and you're like, oh god, how do I get out of this situation?
The only great part would be because they're laser pointers. If you look each other right in the eye, you blind them. Like, you can make your escape.
So is it like two laser points, or is it just like the single point that you're
I think
focusing
it's
on?
like that classical idea of how eyes used to work, that like your eyes are emitting lasers.
Right.
Yeah, and the alternate was, basically that like people can see your intention. It'll just be like written on your head at all times.
Right.
I'm taking laser pointers because I feel like I could learn to control that. Whereas as my mind starts to decay when I get older, I'm going to be able to control that less and less.
Right.
But I wonder, okay, maybe it will just be an emoticon. So it's kind of cryptic, so you're on the bus and people can see if you're like happy or sad or like vomity.
Or like eggplant.
But not what your actual thought is. They just know that like that you're
Those
angry.
3 little droplets.
But then you get those people that would walk up to you and be like, "Oh, are you sad? Like, how's it going?" You know, the people that like,
Smile.
"Yeah, what's wrong?" Oh.
Why is it that women don't like it when men tell them to smile?
It's just like, it's very aggressive. Like, you don't know what I'm feeling right now. Like, don't try and make me happy. Get out of my life. Also, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's especially bad when it, like, I get like why women specifically don't like men to tell them, but honestly, like, if any person at any point in time tells me that I should arrange my face in a different way than it currently is, I'm gonna be pretty unhappy.
Sarah Silverman did a thing where she was like talking about telling women to pop a smile on there. But she was like, from her perspective, she was like, I can change your whole life because you look like a cunt right now. Just pop a smile on there, and your life will improve dramatically. No, I get it. No one ever has told me to smile. Ever. Unless they're taking a photo.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like because they think that you should be more friendly than you are.
Yeah, I think it's a male thing to like, you should be brightening my day
right.
with your fair sex smile. The one thing I will say about the knowing, like the emoticon thing, is it would be an interesting challenge to like kind of become Vulcan that way and like control your emotions. I think it would lead to like an explosive, repressive, murder spree. But
Yeah, you could go like in the mirror and like really practice your mental change.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I also think it probably wouldn't make that much of a difference because as much as you think that you're like hiding what you feel, people are actually pretty bad at hiding how they actually feel.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like angry or upset or whatever, like it doesn't take too much observation to notice that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, the downside has to be the embarrassing ones.
Right, yeah.
Like.
Although, now I'm thinking back, there was that time when I came back from my trip that like I'd gotten the flu and I hadn't known that I'd gotten the flu. I was at work and then there in the middle of the day, I'm like, all right, something bad is happening. I'm on the bus and it happened to be that a bunch of people that lived in my building were on the streetcar with me. And normally like, oh yeah, they'd like smile or wave, but I was just like so vomity. If I changed facial expressions, I would have barfed. And I really felt like telling them like, I'm pretty sure I'm like have food poisoning or like something, I'm gonna die. But I didn't want to move or like talk or anything, so I just sat there like really clammy and crappily. So I'm having like a little vomity emoji on my head. Would have been nice if they all just knew I wasn't a jerk that day.
I think it's going to lead to bad business because here are two examples. Let's say the emotion is super horny. If you're a dude, people are going to think you're a creep. And if you're a chick, then you're going to have a lot of dudes just approaching you randomly on the street.
Right.
I feel like it would turn from like, because if you're in public, it would go like eggplant emoji and then immediately like that shocked face emoji. Like,
The shame emoji. Which one's that one again?
It's like that anime one that's like the blue on top with the it's like the eyes. But you just see it go like eggplant switch.
Yeah. When you like make eye contact with somebody on the train. You're like, oh
So
god.
everyone will know what shame means.
Yeah, shame means that they hit an eggplant like 5 minutes ago.
If I could choose this for the whole, so this is just for us personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
not for the
tougher.
whole world.
If it was the whole world, I'd do the emotion one, just as a social experiment.
Yeah, I would be really curious to see what people really think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the laser pointers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd also like to be. I'd be interested to see where people are looking.
I think
Although this is just personally, right? Yeah.
I think I'd go with the emotion one because I feel like when someone asks you, "Oh, why are you upset?" or whatever, you can just make up whatever you want.
Right.
Where if someone's like, "Why are you looking at me?" you can't be like, "I don't know what you were talking about."
Okay, so so when I was back in Australia, my uncle gave me some old home movie footage that we had of me and my brothers and sisters and family when I was like about 11 years old or so. And I was watching through it, and at some point I had got the camera. I was like holding the camera, and I kept like zooming in on people's butts. And I'm like, it seems like I've been on brand for a really long time. I'm not even ashamed. Like as soon as those laser pointer comes on, it's gonna be like,
Just butts.
just butts. Butts all the way.
I'm taking laser pointers too.
Heck yeah. And like, imagine how uncomfortable you could make another person just by like laser pointering them with a disapproving look.
Yeah, just like focusing on their eyebrows, trying to figure out where their biggest self weakness is.
Yeah, it would be
But the
such a
thing-
power move.
But if you're looking at someone directly, if it's on their face, they won't see it. 'Cause, like,
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Maybe
they'd
there
only
needs to be,
recognize,
like a little bit of heat,
like,
to it or
shoulders.
something.
Yeah, just a slight amount of like, laser pointer heat. So if you like stare at somebody for too long, it's like gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
But I also think that like you kind of don't really notice how much your eyes move around, even
Yeah.
when you think you're just like staring in one spot. So
If you want to make people uncomfortable, you just need to have less filter. You
yeah.
just need to go up to them and be like, "Hey, do you know your one eye is like a little bit lower than your other eye?" And then just watch them cry and run away.
Yep, that'll do it.
These are talking about my eyes.
I'm not being specific to anybody.
Both me and Kev are like, is it me? Is it him?
Yeah, I know. Why am I
Which
even
one
thinking
of us
about
has
this?
wonky eyes?
Maybe getting the measuring tape out.
Trying to see if my glasses are on a slant.
Okay, we can take it to the chat. There, some people have submitted some would you rathers. So let me start at the top. Bryce Davis asks, would you rather live your life in a loop like Groundhog Day, but it repeats every 5 hours, or live the rest of your life in a year before modern technology?
So, live the rest of your life in a Groundhog Day loop, but that means you don't die, right? Like,
Well, I mean, I guess you would just like live that 5 hours for the rest of what is your
would have been your natural life.
Yeah,
Mm,
just 5 hours over and over and over again.
that's
Or we're going to old timey, like, or the alternate is that you live in a period of time before modern technology.
just before modern technology, and I'm guessing it never advances.
What's modern technology?
Yeah, I wonder like how modern we're going with modern technology. Like, is it just computers, or is it like
Probably like painkillers.
sanitation?
Yeah.
trying to think like the 5 hour thing. There's just no, because it's 5 hours. There's no way to like progress. Like you would personally gain skills, but 5 hours isn't enough time to like do something cool where you could.
Yeah, you couldn't go
Like-
anywhere.
Yeah.
Although, it's a lot of, we live in a pretty populous city. A reset button every 5 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that could be turned into a positive pretty quickly.
Yeah, you would never like run out of money, or
I'm trying to think. Are there enough restaurants with enough menu items, for example, that you could try? Because it's the rest of your natural life.
yeah.
that you would have enough things to try something different every single reset?
There's a lot of restaurants. I think you could try, like, if you went through the menu on those places, because I think there's like what 20,000 restaurants in Toronto or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you couldn't eat at every restaurant in Toronto in like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
And 5 hours is enough time to like watch a movie as well.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. You just like watch a bunch of movies.
I mean, you can always watch, even if it's not, you just pick it up the next day.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it would actually be pretty sweet because you wouldn't ever have to go to work or like be productive.
And I'm assuming that you're kind of godly in the fact that if you die, it resets you like Groundhog Day.
Right, yeah.
So you could.
That's true. Then you could try a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Be
just
like, I want to know what it's like to hold plutonium.
It would just be like really, really focused on the city. You wouldn't really be able to get too far out.
I could get to plutonium in 5 hours.
The Pickering
Yeah.
nuclear station's right up there. I don't know if they use plutonium, but they probably use uranium.
You just smash them, a couple of uraniums together and get a plutonium.
Yeah, I would take the 5 hours. That seems very godly.
Yeah, me too. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that would be actually really cool.
Because before modern technology, because how far back are we going? I'm assuming like 1400s?
I think everything before 1900, people had lice all the time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So that right there.
And the sanitation,
Mm.
and the like, if you get an also like I have medication that I use every single day to have normal skin.
Right.
So it's just like doesn't exist. So I
Yeah.
would just have really bad skin all the time.
I had one infection in my life that had it not been for antibiotics, I would have died.
Oh yeah, me too.
So like right there,
Yeah.
like I'm generally like a pretty healthy person. Not in my lifestyle or in the way that I eat, of course, but just in like my genetics. I've been fortunate.
And there's also no way in like your lifetime alone could you reproduce anything like technologically savvy. Starting like depending on which point in time you start.
Right.
Because like you're not gonna get to like factory level like injection molding or whatever, and like
Yeah.
like in your lifetime, no matter how much knowledge you have, if the infrastructure's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you were an inventor or something that, like a researcher, this might be more of a problem. But
yeah, and it's like, I mean, depending on how far back you go, like, how much knowledge do you have that could even be useful?
Yeah.
I mean, other than just being like, hey guys, wash your hands, and then you won't die.
they'll burn you as a witch.
Yeah, wash your hands. Here's how to make a light bulb.
Yeah, but like, do you even know how to make penicillin? Like, I know that it comes from mold, but like, how?
Oh, it's very hard. I know because when we did the research on Alexander Fleming, the first couple people that they tried it with just got like horrible rashes and died from the cure.
I mean, at least you wouldn't die because you're like vaccinated against fucking everything now. But, you know, everyone
that
else.
would be interesting that you go back in time and everyone you meet dies from something that you're innately immune to.
Again, you're being burned as a witch.
Yeah.
Everything.
Every small town you go to, you give like the super version of the flu that we have now.
Yeah.
Just think about like every year the flu gets stronger and we're still alive.
Yeah. I mean, if I go back in time right now as I am, I'm immediately getting burned for a witch because I'm wearing pants and my hair is red.
Yeah.
Well, if I go back in time, I'm not wearing pants anymore.
Tunics 24/7.
I can finally be free.
I read this thing where like if you go back far enough, like we assume that people in like the year 900 kind of spoke the way we spoke. But apparently, from what the research they did, is like it is indecipherable. Like it's almost like they're speaking another language. Or have you seen that Next Generation episode where Picard and what's his name go down to that planet and the guy speaks? What is it?
I know the one you mean, but I can't think of it.
his arms wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They speak in analogies or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it would sound similar to that, where you're just like you understand that the words are English, but the rhythm of speech is so foreign that.
Yeah, I had heard that it was something like American English is closer to the colonial time English than the British, because the British one has kept evolving over time, because they're still in such close proximity to all the other European nations that like adjust their accents, and also England's very focused on like accent districts.
You'll find that with like we found it with the episode 1 of Super Science Friends, where Russians who had left Russia, and maybe they were like second generation immigrants elsewhere, were more offended than people in Russia. In Russia, they loved it, but people that were, I guess because they held it a little, like that heritage a little tighter.
Right.
Whereas everyone else was, and I found it was the same with like the Nazis in Germany and stuff too. It was like the people in Germany fucking love it. So
yeah. Yeah, give me that 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then live that for eternity.
Wait, if you become a drug addict, does that reset as well?
I guess it would.
Because I would just try them all.
Yeah, it depends. Like,
I'd commit.
Do you? So you're keeping the memories, I'm assuming, of every day.
Yeah, but not the
I would
wounds.
say so. Yeah, I would say you can remember each day.
Because that's what Bill Murray worked, was like he could.
Yeah.
You could remember, but like he got burned alive. It's not like he was all charred up the next day.
Yeah.
So, because technically, if the way that memories are stored is similar to like how addiction affects you, wouldn't you get addicted then?
I mean, you might
We'll
not.
just cut it out.
I don't think you'd be chemically addicted, but you might be like, habitually addicted.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would commit every single crime.
Oh yeah, everyone wants.
Yeah.
Except for maybe murder.
I'd be
I would,
murdering.
that would be the first thing I would do.
First thing I'd go is to Starbucks at the
What's
worst
the point
time.
of murdering someone if they pop back alive in 5 hours?
Just for the fun of it.
I'd be like, I've seen what the inside of your stomach looks like.
Just go to like a medical hospital and try and perform surgery and get arrested for it. Like that's
Yeah, I'd totally do that one too. That's a great idea.
I'd do that like 10 days in a row until I got it right. And then
Yeah.
I could just come in there. He's Doogie Howser.
They go to arrest you, but you've saved the guy's life. And they're like,
You're welcome. Yeah, I'd get me a katana and just start chopping.
You're why we can't have Westworld. It's just
Yeah.
this is why the robots always hate us.
Yeah.
Westworld is my Shangri-La.
Okay, another one?
Yeah.
One more? Let's see. Please talk amongst yourselves while I pick one.
I'd go to the zoo and let all the animals out.
Oh, that'd be cool. You could try every day to see like which animals let you ride them or not.
Yeah. No, fuck, the tiger doesn't. Ah.
Okay.
I'd probably want to have like a gun or something. That'd be my first thing, is like get a gun so that if, say, I go and try and ride a lion or a tiger and it starts like chewing my face, I can just be like, reset, and then kill myself.
I like that you kill yourself and not the tiger.
I'm assuming I'm already like quite painfully wounded.
Just imagine Brett at the start of the day like stubs his toe and he's like, this day's over. Just try again tomorrow. Do you think it counts the hours that you should have gotten in the 5 hours to your lifetime?
So you have to be... Yeah, I think it would.
So you're wasting that time if you kill yourself at the top of the day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, Sass JJ asks, would you rather be able to do anything once a day, like fly or create money out of nothing? So you basically get one wish a day.
Okay.
Or be able to do 5 things, but someone in your life that hates you also gets this power and will spite you. So you can either have 1 wish a day, consequence free, or you can have 5 wishes a day, but your most hated enemy also has 5 wishes.
Yeah, this is so easy.
One.
One. Next question.
Yeah, you just make that count.
Because all they would have to do is use one of their wishes to say, like, their power's gone for the day, and then like
Yeah.
do 5 bad things to you or whatever.
Yeah, we did a Would You Rather a while back that was like if you could kill one person a year, scot free, get away with it. And we came to the conclusion that you'd probably blow it within 3 days max. Like you'd get to again like the Starbucks, somebody's in front of you at line asking what kind of fucking milk it, like what farm it comes from or something. And you're just like. You go like, oh, I could have saved that for like a bad guy, but no.
I'm trying to think is it Dimitri Martin has one that's like everyone that has a driver's license should be allowed to hit one person a year or something like that. And so if someone jaywalks in front of them and then they get hit with the car, the person that's jaywalking can really think like, oh wow, he used his one on me. Like, I feel like a realtor.
I love that Starbucks is such a source of fury for you.
Well, it's the only place that I have to line up nowadays.
Right.
Like I really like lining up is like a school, like a children's thing exercise. I really don't have to line up much.
Right.
And that's the only place. And I refuse to use the fucking app because I think people should have to line up when they go to the Starbucks. I'm paying $7 for 5 cents worth of ingredients.
Yeah. I get mad when I see other people lining up at a restaurant. And I'm like, no food in the entire world is worth waiting in a line
Absolutely.
for.
Like that fucking cheesecake place downtown.
Yeah, or that like ice cream place on Ossington.
Yeah.
That place always has a huge line. And I was like, are you kidding me? That ice cream isn't even that good. There's another place like 2 minutes up the road where you can get ice cream. What are you doing with your life? I get so mad.
It's not like you're going to savor that ice cream. You're going to shovel it in as fast as possible, just like the rest of us, to push down the existential dread for another hour or two.
Fuck those people.
I do think I'm trying to think like there's a certain length of line that I think is permissible. Like, you know what I mean, 15 minutes is fine.
Oh, 15 minutes is pushing
Because there's a lot because for example, like a lot of really good Japanese places only seat like 20 people. So there is no way that they don't have like a small line.
Depends on the situation. Like, I was at the bank the other day. All I needed to do was deposit a check. I didn't want to use the machine. So I went to the teller. I was the first person in line at the teller. But the guy in front of me, they only had one teller out. It was like bank of fucking 15 things. And this guy had obviously ordered like $80,000 in cash. So it was just 20 straight minutes of this poor teller like using the machine to like
right.
these stacks and stacks and stacks of money.
Is he a drug dealer?
He must have been. He looked pretty shady. And I was like, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse. Bring someone else out. I don't care if they're on the break. Bring them. But yeah, if you're waiting for food, I have like a 15-minute limit to wait for food.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
But there's some, this was the worst. There's a place called the Black Hoof in Toronto, and they serve shit like bone marrow scraped from the inside of an elk and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really wank stuff. And my buddy, this is years ago, said like, let's go down there for brunch. I said, okay, let's make reservations because I want to stand on the fucking line. And so we call them up. We don't take reservations. Okay. Or we only take reservations in person. That was the thing. So we had to walk down there, give our name, and then they said, cool, it's about a 2-hour wait. Come back in 2 hours. And then we had to just go fuck off for 2 hours.
Get brunch somewhere else.
Yeah. And then come back. I'm like, but we phoned you like at 9 a.m. We should have been able to leave our names then.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, we don't do that here. So if I got my 5-hour reset, I'm burning that paper to the fucking ground. After I chop them.
I like the ones that they have to have the rule that's like, at your time, you have like 5-10 minutes from whenever your reservation time is, and your entire party has to be there or else they don't see you.
Yeah.
Those are the best, because then like, then they can accept as many phone reservations as they want, and they're only going to be like 5 minutes off, and then they can just let other people that show up sit down.
Even if I'm with a group where somebody blows that for us and they don't show up in time, I appreciate it. Because then I can turn to that person and be like, Josh, you fucked up. we're never doing this again. I can at least have some enjoyment out of like
You're
tearing
out
a
of
new
my
one
life.
into Josh because he ruined it for the rest of us. Sorry, I'm bringing us down today. This is very angry, shitty wizards.
That's okay. So anyway, we're all getting one wish, and our enemies get no wishes.
Do you have an enemy?
I don't know. I kind of wish I did. Just
Do you
so
have-
that I
do you
could
have an
fuck
enemy?
with someone.
No, I think at some point in my life I might have had people I disliked, but I've cut them out by now. You know what I mean? Like you move
Yeah. Who has enemies?
on. And I feel like the only person I can remember like not liking was just there was this one dude in college that like I just remembered he was like super cheap and was trying to like convince other people to like buy him lunches and stuff because he was trying to save money, but the reason he was saving money was to get himself a tattoo that he had drawn himself.
God.
And we were in art
I hate
fundies.
this guy now,
Yeah,
too.
we were in art fundies, which means like he was nowhere near the epitome of his talent of his life.
It's like, just wait 3 years.
Yeah, I'm like, A, wait until you're a better artist. B, like, feeding yourself is more important than getting this tattoo. And C, why are you trying to, like, scam our friends? Like, because he would try it on, like, every person every day. And I was just like, I wish you nothing but miserable.
See, I was poor as dirt in college, but I wouldn't ask people to buy me food. What I would do is I would wait until they finished their meal, and then I'd eat what was ever left on their plate.
Like a seagull.
Yeah. It was like a seagull, like some sort of scavenger.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I like basically ate nothing, and so like we'd be like at the dinner table, me and my brother and my sister, and they would have like hoovered down their food, and I'd be like picking at mine, and then they sort of like hang around my plate, being like, "Are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna eat that?"
You're not even the youngest, though.
No. It'd be both my older brother and younger sister hovering around like seagulls, like stealing peas off my plate.
Also,
Yeah.
1 wish a day is a lot of wishes.
It
That a
is,
lot of
isn't it?
wishes.
Yeah.
I don't even think I could keep up with that. That'd be passing.
Yeah,
you
can
wake
you
up and
bank
be like,
them?
I
I
guess it's
wonder.
a Sunday today. Like, just give me a Sunday.
I wish it was Sunday. Every day.
Taco Tuesday. Done.
Yeah, like as soon as you like hit the big ones, like I wish that I had infinite money. I wish that I had infinite life.
Yeah,
whatever.
it has to be like something that the wishes would have to be something finite. Like you can
Yeah.
only wish for something you can hold in your hands
Yeah.
once a day. Because otherwise, if it's perpetual, you're like, I wish that I could fly, and then like banked.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a year, I have 365.
Maybe it
wishes.
resets at the end of the day. So even if you ask
Oh,
for $1
that'd be
million,
cool.
you
Right.
better spend that on something worth $1 million.
Yeah. But so the thing that you spend it on remains.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be cool.
Gonna be a real estate mogul.
Flying would be a good one. Every day I'd just be like, fly.
Okay, we got time for one more. Tater Sauce asks, would you rather be offended by everything or be offended by nothing?
This is the world we live in now. Everybody's already in Camp A. Bunch of goddamn raindrops.
Raindrops, they're melted snowflakes. They couldn't stand the heat, so they melted them.
That's what happens when you put a bunch of snowflakes in global
Brett's is
warming.
like at the next level of hatred. These friggin' melted snowflakes.
I'd rather not get offended by anything. I'm kind of already at that
Yeah,
point.
like-
I don't...
I can't imagine what I would be offended by. Maybe if somebody showed me their dick, I'd probably be like, no.
Is that offense or is that disgust? Like, are you
Yeah.
angry that they showed you their dick, or are you like, get that away from me?
It's disgusting.
Like when, I think it's different when somebody's offended because somebody said something about like, I don't know, we made fun of a fucking priest in Super Science Friends or something like that, and then somebody gets offended to their core.
Right. I think it helps for people like you and I who believe in nothing.
Yeah.
And have very low expectations of other people.
It's true.
There's no way to be offended if you like hold nothing dear.
I loved this season of Game of Thrones. I didn't expect anything from it.
Also, the getting offended by everything is this like your whole day,
Yeah.
and it's everything.
It's so exhausting.
So it'd be like, oh, this microphone's red light is too bright. It's like in my face. Why does it have to be turned towards me? I'm so offended.
Yeah, you would constantly just like be on edge. It would be
Yeah.
very stressful.
I think that's how a lot of like kids nowadays are growing up because I saw a talk about it where basically they don't. There's a certain period of their life where they're not able to develop independence because their parents like keep an eye on them until they're like 12, 13 now. Whereas when I was a kid, it was like I was 6 years old walking to school on my own, getting into fights and like learning to be the person I became. So their skin doesn't thicken up. And so they're constantly like everything is. They're more likely to take offense when people say something. They're more likely to, like in a business environment, like complain to HR over minor interactions and things like that.
I think complaining to HR is a good thing.
I
I'm just saying. I'm glad that that's on an uptick.
I don't know. I think if someone says like, "Hey, do you want to be in Shitty Wizard?" and they go and complain to HR because you said the word "shitty" to them, like I think that's the point of what they're talking about. Yeah. So it's. I think you gotta get that skin getting thick.
Yeah.
I would hate to be offended by anything.
Yeah, it seems like it would be very inconvenient. And I also, like, really hate conflict. So even if I was offended by everything, like, I don't know if I would have the balls to ever, like, be like, I'm offended.
I'm offended by the fact that you just, stole my masculinity by the use of the word balls. I'm going to go complain to HR.
Get used to it, Raindrop. I got big dick energy over here.
Yeah, I'd rather not be offended by anything. What's the benefit of being offended by everything?
Yeah, I'm trying to think like how often, what am I offended by and how is it used? Like when is it beneficial to be offended?
Yeah.
Which most of the time it's like stuff that like I'm offended by and then I'm just like that's just the way the world is. Like you kind of have to swallow it like
You can be offended by like corporate greed and stuff.
yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I mean, but you can't do anything with that offense.
Yeah.
Although I'm glad to feel it, but not
Yeah, I guess if you're not offended by any, like truly not offended by anything, then you're very much less likely to like vote. For as an example, well, you can't anyway because you're a filthy immigrant. But
and I wouldn't even if I could.
Oh wait, I just offended like so many immigrants.
Only the filthy ones.
Only the filthy
Please
ones.
understand, she's disgusting.
Caitlin's particularly filthy.
It's true. I've had this stain on my jeans for weeks. Weeks, I tell you.
You can't even tell it's a stain. The whole thing is just
It's like a Jackson
an
Pollock
even
thing.
coating.
I thought you were wearing camo pants.
See, imagine if I were to be offended by everything you said to me. I would just be like, monocles popping out everywhere. Like, oh, goodness.
I never.
Well, I never. You would have to wear 5,000 monocles.
Yeah.
All right, one more, and then we're done. And then you can leave
All right.
my filthy office. Bryce Davis asks, would you rather live in your ideal fantasy world, but you're not the main character, or you can get any wish granted, but you have to give something that you love or like for the rest of your life?
Give something that you love or like. I'm assuming we'll say
Give up.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it has to be something like very dear to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a material thing or is it like my love of the opera?
Yeah, I think it's just anything that you hold dear.
To bring it back around to Barbara. So.
Yeah. So if you were to have your wish granted, maybe like the opera just
I feel like it has
would
to
never
be,
exist.
you give up something that you always imagined would be a part of your life.
right.
Because otherwise, like, there's stuff I love that I give up all the time to keep my condo, like, not cluttered. You know what I mean? I'm very good at this. Very condo life.
I guess as humans we do that anyway, though. Like, we give something up that we love for, like, you might give up your crappy job down at the comic book store, which you love, for the security that the higher paying job at the accounting place offers.
Right, yeah.
To which you could buy more comics. And so in that way you have more comics.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what was the first one?
Would you rather live in your ideal fantasy world, but you're not the main character? Ideal fantasy world.
What? Yeah, I'd have to identify what that is first.
Mine would be like one of those like anime dating sims where everyone's a hot pigeon or something.
And so what does it mean that you're not the or that you're not the main character in that?
Just that I'm surrounded by hot pigeons all the time. So
I think
really,
it's
it's a
like,
win-win.
if you like Star Trek, you don't get to be a captain.
Right, you're an ensign or something.
Yeah. Or you're just like a fucking alien on a random planet. You don't even get to see a spaceship.
Yeah.
But often the main characters in shows are the ones that have the existential dread that they're like trying to overcome. The side characters are pretty happy.
Yeah, you're just living your best life in Star Trek universe.
Yeah, like imagine like a world where Superman exists. Superman's out there busting his ass every day. And you get to be like, look, it's a plane.
You just get to be collateral damage when he destroys another building.
No, you fall off a building and he catches you and like, woo! You're the Lois Lane. It's overall.
No, like you wouldn't even get that.
They said main.
Yeah, oh right, main.
You get to be a side character.
What was the second part? Sorry, my memory's shot.
You can get any wish granted, but you have to give up something that you love or like for the rest of your life.
I would really like that one, actually.
Yeah?
I think it would bring some sort of balance. So if you decide, like... So here's a great example. People give up time to have a smoking hot bod.
Right.
Because they just go to the gym, which is pretty, like, you know, let's face it, it's pretty masturbatory to go and just kill time at the gym so that you're not actually accomplishing anything
right
other than, like, toning your body, which nobody sees because you're at the gym all the time.
People at the gym
People at the gym see it.
People at the gym are awful. So...
But they appreciate a toned body.
I guess.
In the way that, like, you jealously appreciate somebody else's nice watch.
Seems very, like, cyclical.
The fact that you know that people go to the gym means you've seen their nice gym bods.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's an example of, like, giving something up. So, if I...
Yeah, but it has to be something that you love. Like, just giving up time, like... That's just every fucking second of your life.
I know, I'm just saying, like, it's something, again, people already do it.
Yeah.
I feel like, say for Brett, it would be like, you have to give up this company.
Yeah.
Just walk away and, like, you can have any wish you want, but this company is no longer yours.
I feel like you're
See, I've hit it, I've hit it.
Second.
No, he's thinking.
That's an interesting one.
You'd have to give up your career for one wish. Maybe your wish is for a better career, though.
Well.
No, you have to give up me, Brett. I'm the thing that you lose. I wish for a fully automatic Kevin. I can work without sleep or eating.
I feel like the thing that you're giving up would be equal or lesser than... Oh, no, sorry, equal or greater than the thing that you're getting. Like, there has to be a stipulation.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, I'm going to give up Kevin and give me $10 billion. The universe is going to go like, Kevin ain't worth $10 billion.
Whoa. You don't know what I do in these alternate timelines. Also, I feel like since they clearly want the Soul Stone metaphor that, like, you give me up and I have to, like, fade away in front of you. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
That memory exists.
So good.
I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. Yeah. I think I'd like that one because it's... I think I could come up with some balance. I'm going to give away my...
I like the idea that the ideal fantasy world is, like, you don't get to come up with it on the spot. It, like, looks deep in you and then, like, makes it.
Right, yeah.
So I'm trying to think, like, what would mine be? Like, what would happen?
Yeah. I mean, like, when I think of ideal, though, it's like somewhere that you're gonna like being. Maybe even if it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, if your, like, ideal fantasy world is Game of Thrones,
Oof.
you're gonna go there.
That's a rough one.
I don't know, maybe you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna be, like, banging some prostitutes and beheading people and whatever else it is they do in Game of Thrones.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff I like the idea of, but temporarily. And like, oh, I think it'd be cool if like androids exist, but also I want to be able to take that back very quickly if I don't like it after an hour.
You get there and you're like, oh no, they're just slaves.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It depends how they operate. I don't want to walk into a room and have someone's head immediately like turn very quickly and like see you. You know what I mean? Like that sort of like perfect physical response. And like they keep typing at their keyboard while they're watching you walk across the room.
Yeah. Or like
oh,
suddenly
no.
Humans are like all being destroyed by super intelligent androids.
Yeah.
They did a this weapons company ran a demo where they had like a turret. You know, like in games where there's like a turret. And in the game, what it'll do is like targeting, and then it shoots. But they ran it with paintballs in the real world, and like the minute the guy came around the corner, like an inch, he was dead because it just like saw the movement. There was no like calibrating, and then no spin up on the gun or anything like that. It was just like it's over.
I've been watching a bunch of machine learning videos just because I find the topic interesting. And there's someone has made one where they can use Wi-Fi signals in a room to like basically map out where humans are in that room.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it means that they can see through any wall that a Wi-Fi signal can penetrate through. So that turret you wouldn't even get around the corner. Like it's
knows
just,
you're coming. Yeah.
The only reason it's not shooting is because it's saving bullets. Like, and if it knew that it could pierce through the wall and hit you, it'd start going for it, you know?
There was another one I saw where it was this little flying drone. It was basically like a drone, but it was about, the size of a tennis ball. And what it would do is it would just fly up right to your head and just shoot you right in the middle of the head.
Jesus. With like a paintball.
No, with a bullet.
Oh, with
like,
the bullet.
The guy was on stage. I think there was a mannequin or something. He just like tossed it in the air and it just went over.
Wow.
It was like a little Derringer, bullet.
Oh, that's
so
uncomfortable. This makes sense why, like, there's been those jokes about how anywhere Putin goes, like, suddenly the GPS gets really bad because they just, like, have a nice blocking net for him. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you need now. Just, like, a nice field 10 feet around every living being.
What's your ideal fantasy world?
I've been racking my brain. I don't know if I have one.
I think mine would just involve, like, you can cook any meal without cooking. Like, you don't have to do the work. It's just whatever you wish to eat, like,
That's
poofs.
Awful. That's an awful fantasy.
How's that
well,
awful?
Look
Because it'd be
who
like,
showed up.
I was here the whole
2
time.
minutes left.
Hi, everyone. Would you rather? How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Come on, it's speed round.
Okay, I was listening to it while I was on the way here, and I dropped in to grab some food. And while you were talking about, like, waiting in line at Starbucks and someone, that was happening to me in that moment. There was some guy having a full-blown conversation with the barista, just being like, yeah, isn't it crazy how, like, they used to serve this donut, but now they don't? And I was like, there's 40 people in here. I'm using 10 years worth of wishes just for you to drop dead right now. It was a little too weird. Anyway, that's my story.
Art imitates life.
You call this art? I mean...
Fine, how
Loosely,
about
very
your
loosely.
fantasy world is every time you go into a Starbucks, there is no line. It just appears. Whatever. Actually, that's just my wish, because you wish for, like, a hot cup of coffee and it just poofs.
Yeah, why would you ever go to Starbucks ever again?
I know. Well, I think I go there to become angry. It's like my little outlet.
It's like you gotta purge.
Otherwise, I'm
So you
going to
go to
yell at you
Starbucks.
guys, and I want to do that.
So you're using your one, instead of your one murder a year, you're using your one rage outlet a day, and you're purposely going to Starbucks so that you don't use it on
I
someone.
don't like coffee. I'll just drink that swill so I can quietly brew about those.
He buys the
yuppie-
cup and pours it over their head.
Pours it over the barista. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Did the barista just become your sub? They're like, thank you. And
All
you
right,
will be
well-
Pedro's.
That's about it for today. So
Woohoo!
thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Thanks, Brett, once again for keeping us company.
I'm gonna play us out.
Okay, play us out.
I don't get this right.
Oh, there's that phrase. Would you rather?
Okay.